Hello, welcome back to the Seventh House Art Studio. Just setting up this camera so it doesn't fall, knock everything over. It was quite the treat. But anyway, I've got something here that I don't look yet. Okay, I would like to. So I got this set of art supplies, and I'm wanting to make four different pieces of art with it. And I want to make real art with it. So this is what I got. Now, when I was a kid, I would have loved to have had this. It comes with a spiffy coloring book. It comes with markers, crayons, oil pastels. And on the other side, we have colored pencils, watercolor, a ruler, a pencil of some kind, and a absolutely horrid paintbrush. One of those plastic bristle ones. And I have no idea what this is. If you know what this is, what is this? Is it glue? I see some kind of like clear liquid in this little bottle. I'm gonna try to open it real quick. I think it doesn't smell like anything. It might be glue. It feels a little sticky. Why would you need glue in this? What the hell would you need glue in that? Okay, anyway. It has a pencil sharpener and one of those plastic erasers. Which actually, I kind of like these erasers. So, let's see if we can make some art. Now, I have some, I have on my other wall over there a picture of, get my hand out of the way. It's late at night. I'm just trying to get this started. I have a picture over there on my wall of some birds. So I think I'm going to do like a picture in the crayons, a picture in oil pastels, and so on of each one of those little birds. So stay tuned. Let's see if we can do this. And I'm actually going to use, like for the color pencils, I'm going to use color pencil paper. And also, how'd you like that shot? I don't watercolor paper for the watercolors. And yeah, so stay tuned. This might get redone. Okay, so first I want to test out the, why did I do that? Pencil and pencil sharpener. So let's see how those work. Here's the pencil sharpener. It's, oh my man, that is really cheap feeling. Okay, the ruler. It's just basic plastic ruler. So here's the pencil. It has nothing on it to indicate what it is. So this pencil sharpener is kind of scary. I feel like it might break in my hand. It's pretty bad. What is this? Is that graphite? No, there's a core in there somewhere. First I thought it was some graphite, but it's not. It's just black wood, and there is a core in there somewhere. It is sharpening. Actually, I'm surprised it doesn't have some kind of a cover on it, being that this is a kid's set. There it is. Okay, so it did sharpen. It sharpened okay. And I'm going to use this to sketch out the pictures. So, yeah, let's try that next. Okay, so I sketched my birds off camera because I had to go over there and look at it. I couldn't hold the camera and do that at the same time. So I've... see if I can find it. Okay, so I am using the Strathmore colored pencil paper, and I'm going to be using this paper for crayons. I've sketched out my little bird, and for the oil pastels, and for the color pencils. And let's see, and for the watercolor, I'm using this watercolor paper pad. And there's my little sketch. And for the markers, I'm using the Artist Loft marker paper. And there's that one. Now I gotta say that the pencil was pretty nice. It drew, you know, it feels like maybe a number 2 pencil or a HB. No, it's not HB. I want to say it feels like a number 2 pencil. Like, that's what it feels like to me. But it was smooth, you know, it's not real dark, it's not real light. And this eraser is really good. So let me do this. Zoom in a little bit here. I just have copy paper for this. This is just what I'm doing. So the eraser is really good. I like these plastic erasers. So that's the sketching done. Move on to the actual artwork here in a minute. Thank you. Okay, so I need to erase some of my pencil lines a little bit. You don't want that really showing through. But you still want to be able to see what you're doing. Alright, so I'm going to have to look up at that picture a lot. So here are the crayons. They are pretty nondescript. It just has crayon on it with a paper wrapper. And that's it. So I'm going to look at that picture up there for a minute. Okay, let's see. Alright. So I have this, well, it looks like it'd be dark blue, but it's not. Okay. So I'm going to try to create layers here. They are pretty crumbly. I really need to change where I set my camera up so y'all can see better. These feel really dry, kind of scratchy. It's probably going to look much different than the painting that I have on my wall. Oh, Jesus. Let's try this again. I have no idea what I was saying. They're crumbly, they're rough, they're scratchy. Let's see. it might be a good idea for me to fast forward this. Okay. Alright, so I expected the crayons to be the worst of the whole set, and they were pretty bad. Very crumbly, very dry, hardly any color, very low pigment, a lot of caking up. I mean, this is the black, it just looks like gray, and I pressed pretty hard on that. I guess they kind of blended a little bit, but nothing great. This is me pressing really hard on this pink and green, and there's barely any color there. So the crayons, big fat no. I would say a 2 out of 10. They were not good. They were not fun. They were very hard to work with. They would not layer. Very crumbly, dry and scratchy, just all around crap. Oh, and another thing, when I got into this yellow, if I touched the black, it streaked it out. The black, it streaked it out, so you couldn't really touch other colors. It would like drag it out. So crayons, thumbs down, no. So it's getting late, and I think I'll work on this tomorrow a little bit. I think tomorrow will be the oil pastels, maybe? I don't know, we'll see. Alright, thank you. Alright, so it's like 3 days later. Had a lot going on. I was really tired too for some reason. Okay, so we did the crayons, and I'll show the final results when it's all finished. So today we're going to be doing the oil pastels. Try those out. Turn this around. Let's see, right there. Okay. And I did move my camera over to the other side, so my right hand's not in the way. Alright, here we go. Okay, oil pastels. What color do I need to start off with? Brown. Alright. Oh, I didn't erase my lines. Oh well. It'll be okay. So hopefully, if these are good oil pastels, I'll cover that. Which right now they're, I don't know. They're not very good. I'm trying. They're awful crumbly. Trying to look over on my other wall to see my reference picture. Man, these are, I don't think there's any oil in these at all. And I'm trying not to go really hard on them because I want to be able to layer. Okay. Let's see, I need a yellowish color. And they don't have any color names, it's just has oil pastel on it. Okay. These are hard. I might speed up the film. Speed this up so it's not so long. Alright, now let's see. Blue. Maybe it goes gray. Wow, they do not want to layer at all. They do not want to blend. They do not want to layer. They're basically the crayons in just a different shape. Well, these are absolutely horrible. Mr. Tang is over on my bed snoring. Mr. Tang is my big orange cat. Now we go with the blue. Who would do this to their kids? So far, the crayons and the oil pastels suck. Wow, these are absolutely horrible. I'm hoping to, I don't know, what am I going to do with these? They're awful. Absolutely wretched. I mean, I will keep the case, that's for sure. So I think I paid $17 for this set. So I got a $17 case so far. Hopefully the other products are better. Let's see what other color. Green. The black one has no wrapper on it. What is that? Push them really hard on that. Hope I can edit this video the way it's supposed to be. There's no white one. That's weird. A white one might have helped. I don't know. Okay. All right. Okay. So that was the oil pastels, which I don't think had any oil in them at all. They're pretty dry, rough. Basically horrible. Okay, so the next one we're going to try is, what am I going to try? Color pencils. Okay, so here are the colored pencils. Let's see, okay, this one has a little bit, let's start off with the, let's see. I'll start off with this brown. Okay, so far, these are much better than the crayons and the oil pastels. do lightly, they're not that great. You kind of gotta press pretty hard for it. But they are better than the crayons and the oil pastels. Right now I'm just kind of talking to myself, I think, because I don't think any of this is going to be on the audio. Kind of trying to get the image down that's on my reference picture. I should have erased my lines. Once again, I did not. Product. This video is not meant for kids. As you can see, I just flipped off the oil pastels a few minutes ago. And sometimes when you're an adult, you kind of you want the things that you wanted when you were younger and couldn't get them. Especially if you were not a family of financial means. Okay. So when I was growing up, I always wanted a set like this so bad. So I wonder if back then they were made better. And I'm talking like the late 70s, early 80s. So I wonder if they were made a little bit better back then. So if you're a child from the late 70s, early 80s, and you actually had one of these kind of sets, what was your experience? Were they better than what this is? I'm sure there's other kits out there, more expensive ones that are better than this, but I wanted to test out a cheap one for fun. For fun. Excuse me. So now here comes the blending test. And a loud car. Let's see. And I try to pick reference pictures that were similar in each other, so and you know, each one would have like a good representation of the same thing, but not the same thing. And what was I going to say? Oh, I also didn't want to do every media that's in here, like the crayons, the oil pastels, the colored pencils, markers, watercolor, all of them in one picture, because you don't normally do your art like that. I mean, every now and then, yes, but normally you do a color pencil drawing, you're going to do color pencils. You know, of course, you're going to, a lot of times you do mix it up. And I have completely stopped looking at my reference picture because now this looks pretty much nothing like it. But that's okay. We're just going to keep going. I will say, again, these colored pencils are much better than the other two so far. They do blend a little bit. There's not a lot of crumbs, actually. This is a new bird species. You probably haven't seen this in the wild yet or in any books or anything, because this probably doesn't really exist. So what kind of, if you're still here, and you're not fast forwarding over this, which I wouldn't blame you if you are, oh man, what was I going to say? What kind of content do you normally watch on YouTube? I mostly watch like art related. Oh, that was, went outside the line on that one, didn't I? I gotta say, these colored pencils are not the best, but they're also not half bad. They are blending, they are smooth to go down. Nothing's breaking. I haven't had one break. There's not a lot of crumbs. And when I'm watching content, of course, I fast forward over some of the things that I find boring, which you probably find this boring right now. But I like to listen because you never know what somebody's going to say. And sometimes it can be educational, or sometimes it can be really funny. Or sometimes it can be very boring. Yeah, this is looking nothing like my reference picture. I have completely changed it up. Let's see. And I'm not trying to make these a masterpiece by any means. Mostly just trying to test out the product. Now here comes the test right here. Trying to get this to layer. It does run out of, the tooth of the paper fills up kind of quickly. Mr. Dang. Yeah, so I mostly watch like art related content on YouTube. you know, either product testing. Oh my God, I love art hauls. God bless the people that still put those out. You can't find them very much anymore. I guess it's getting too expensive to do that. Which, I mean, I understand completely. Okay. There's Tank's about ready to pop on over here. Knock everything off on his way. Oh. The color pencils are much more enjoyable. You ever watch Bob Ross? I remember him being on TV, but I don't think I ever watched it. But some fun facts. He was a sergeant, a drill sergeant in the military. I can't remember what branch, and I've probably already said this before. But of course, when he was in the military, and he was a drill sergeant, I believe it was a drill sergeant, he had to scream at cadets all the time and yell, and it made him feel so bad that once he got out, he vowed to never scream ever again. So that's why he was always so soft-spoken. And his hair, you know, he's famous for that big, massive mound of curly hair. That was because when he first started his show on PBS, he didn't have any money to get a haircut. He didn't have enough money. He couldn't afford to get a haircut. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then that, of course, became his trademark. So he didn't cut it, even though he could probably afford it at that point. But I get a little tidbit. Oh, another thing about Bob Ross. When he was on his deathbed, he had a couple, a married couple, a man and a woman, that was his business partners, I believe. And when he was on his deathbed, when he was very ill and not very coherent, they talked him into signing over all the rights to the Bob Ross brand. So now whenever you buy something Bob Ross brand, paint or little bobbleheads or whatever, that money does not go to his family. None of it does. It goes to that couple that swindled him out of his brand. So that's why I refuse to buy anything Bob Ross, because it's not really Bob Ross. I refuse to. Let's see, what else we got here? How many colored pencils are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23. I guess it's got to be 24. I probably miscounted. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, they wear down kind of fast. And honestly, I can't believe that in the color pencils or the crayons or the oil pastels, there's not a white. Just, you could use that white to blend. It's already wore down. I haven't even used that this much. And I was wanting to blend right there with that. So, let's see. Let's use this color. Of course, no names. I really expect it to. This is actually a pretty color. They are a little bit, you can blend these and layer them. I don't know if... This is a very colorful bird. Imagine some music playing right now. Right now in my head I have Blondie, Atomic. I love that song. The music on that song is amazing. And of course Blondie is a very good vocalist. Okay, so I think I'm done with the bird. I'm going to try to, I don't know. Do I want to even bother with the sky on this? It's already taken so long. I'll just do a little bit of something here. And I'm not trying to draw like super realism. I don't have the patience for that. We're bubbling up here. Let's not do that. Rose pink, maybe. So, I've been working 2 jobs for 6 months now, and it was exhausting, and I wasn't seeing my daughter very much. So, yeah, I quit the second job. Today's my first Saturday off. Well, I had 2 Saturdays off since the 1st of April. So today's my first Saturday and Sunday full weekend in a long time. And I am loving it. This is a weird background, isn't it? A weird sky. I guess it's getting ready to rain. And the sun's shining a little bit. Alright, so these pencils are not my favorite, but I'm not completely pissed off about them either. So this is probably the last color here that I'm going to add to the sky. Maybe not the last layer, but the last color. I'm trying to give everything, all the different types of product in here, fair chances I can give it. Let's go back to the blue. And then, okay, this is the last layer. So I will test this if I can find it. My colorless blender. Let's see what that does on part of it and see if they cooperate with that. I have two different types of color pencil blenders. I have like a liquidy and I have the dry. Okay. So where is that? That's an alcohol marker. What is that? Okay, that's not it. Nope, I don't know where it is. Oh, where did I put that? Oh, I wonder if it's down here in my colored pencil thing. It is. Alright, so what we got here is an Artist Loft color pencil blender. Alright. Is that even wet? It might be out. I don't think there's anything left in this thing. I think she's all dried up. I guess I could do a voiceover on this, huh? Instead of doing music. I actually figured out how to do that. It's dried up. Let's see. And of course you don't get one of those in here. Eraser. Oh, there we go. Okay. We're kind of blending. And I'm not going to go get like baby oil. I don't even have baby oil. I know there's different techniques you can use to blend your color pencils. I think baby oil is one. Some kind of linseed oil or something. so I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time on this. I did it like that. Alright, I'm done. So there's the color pencils. Better than crayons and better than the oil pastels. That was that for that. Alright. So I'm going to stop right there. Take a break. Alright, now we're going to try the markers. Oh, I left my glasses over there. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, here we go. Now we're going to try the markers in this set. That would be these right here, which kind of worries me because these things that are capped, the markers that are capped like this, usually suck. So, let's see, what was I going to say? They are water-based, of course. Alright, let me make sure I'm in the shot. I am. Look at that. Okay. Now, which bird is this? Okay. Another blue one. Oh man, I'm afraid to do this one. Oh, I'm really afraid. Let me scoot my chair over. Okay. Oh, I didn't erase my marks again. Okay. Not horrible so far. They feel a little scratchy. I'm making some noise. I am using marker paper to get the best result that I can. It's kind of tearing up the paper already. This nib is very small. So this might take a while. So what do you got? What do you have going on in your world? Okay. Alrighty. Sheesh, this is going to be difficult because these water-based markers are not going to blend. It's going to be very choppy and blocks of color. I'm not pressing very hard. For some reason the paper's getting tore up. I wonder if my colorless alcohol marker blender will work on these. Might try that here in a minute. Okay. It's enough of that blue. Get some gray, maybe? They feel very cheap, of course. This one feels drier than the other one. You can't put too much down on one spot, that's for sure. I don't know if it's the paper or the markers. I might be tearing it up. Alrighty. I've abandoned my reference picture again. I do have ink coming out of them. Trying to hold it at an angle to get a wider coverage. That seems to be helping. That seems to be helping a little bit as far as coverage goes. I don't know what I use Sharpies on this paper to draw Tweety Bird, and it did not tear up the paper like these are. So it has to be the markers. So if you're interested in that, there's a video down through the library of my videos that has one where I used Sharpies and different techniques to draw Tweety Bird. So you may want to check that out. Let's see. Oh, this is horrible. Oh my goodness. Again, I'm making up bird species. And these might be good for like cartoon art. Character art. I guess you would call, I don't know, making stuff up again. Oh, wow. But not for this. That is for sure. Not for trying to draw realistically. It's just tearing it up. This is actually frustrating. Ay, ay, ay. Might as well put some purple in here, huh? You know what I want to do first? Let's try blending some of this. No. Nope. Nope. Okay. Oh wow, this looks really bad. Might as well go with some purple on here, huh? Wow. I think I've created a very odd toucan hybrid robin mix. It's just tearing up the paper so bad. You cannot do anything with these either. So I think I just bought myself a $17 case. I'm almost snapping this in two by putting the lid back on it. It started bending. Okay, let's get the tree branch going. This is awful. I don't know if I'm even going to try to attempt to do a background on this. What would these be good for, other than nothing? Wow. And the colors are so generic. And it'd be okay if you had like generic primary colors, if you could mix them. Where's my leaf? Oh god, this is so bad. Oh, that's not the color I wanted. There's the feet. Oh my gosh. Alrighty then. is horrible. Wow. There's just no way. Since it is getting kind of Halloween-y time, let's put a little pumpkin here next to him or her. Wow. Okay. Look at them snapping too, putting lids on them. Trying to do a more cartoony drawing here to see if that makes a difference. See. Let's see. If we were just drawing a, I don't know what. What's another good thing to draw? Maybe just like a letter. I don't know why I chose B, but I did. Let's see. Let's see what that does. There's a one neon here. Well, it looked neon on the barrel, but it's not. Okay, so I would say that these markers are better for cartoon type drawing and not trying to do anything realistically. Trying to use every color too. I don't think they would be good in coloring books. I think they would tear up the pages a lot. So we draw a heart. doing this kind of cartoony art is better than that kind of art. All right, thank you. Now we're going to test out the watercolor, which is the last thing in the set. When you pull it out, in these horrible, and this, they're glued in, and wow. Okay. Where is it? I'm actually going to use this to take down the picture. Okay, make sure I'm in the shot. Well, this is the flimsiest plastic. Okay, so I'm going to attempt, I guess you could use that for mixing, huh? I'm going to attempt to use the brush that came with it, which is that horrific plastic with some bristles that are longer than the other ones. Alright, so let's see. Let's get that hair off of there. Let's take a... They're very chalky. They're coming off on my finger. Extremely chalky. Alright. Okay, so let's get them. Actually, I got a spray bottle here. I'll spray them all down. Okay. And I am using watercolor paper, so I'm hoping that helps. This brush. Oh my gosh. This brush. I can't even. Got a joke for you, and you've probably already heard it, but why do teenage girls go in groups of 3, 5, and 7? Because they can't even. Let's erase some of these lines. I heard that on TikTok. Alright, let's try this again. My storage filled up. I had to delete some stuff. Okay, so this brush here, awful. Do I really have to keep using this? So we're going to trash that. Wow. Need a lot of water. Well, I don't know what color to use next. See if they'll... Yeah, there's not a whole lot of pigment in these. Maybe I need to use less water. Where's that? Oh. So, let's see. They are blending. So far, the watercolor is my favorite. And then the color pencils. Except that paintbrush was awful. Let's see. I'll try some little bit of green here. Just to put a little bit of green in there. I didn't erase my lines good enough, but that's okay. Okay, these watercolors are the best part of this kit. I wouldn't say that they're the best ones ever made. but they're the best in this kit. Try not to put too much water on it. And where I sprayed them, they're drying up pretty fast. Let that dry for a little bit, and we'll work on the tree branch. Try a little bit darker brown here. Oh, it goes in front. Of course, you know, the less water you use, the more opaque they are. Let's try the black here. I've got a pretty big brush here. All right. So far, yes, ma'am. Oop, too much water. Not sure what this color is. Okay. Putting too much water on it. Try this green right here. So in the comments below, if you're still here, let me know which one of these you prefer. Which one was your favorite? All right, let's try and get these feet. Oh. Look at that, would you? It's a huge foot. Oh well. Let's try to Okay, we're just gonna say on the feet. What's this white do? Nothing. I just made it darker. I like the white of the paper better. Let's see, let's try putting... Oh, it looks evil now. Well, the white kind of works, actually. But I gotta get rid of that evil eye. Okay, you know what's funny? It looks like it's kind of cracking a little bit. As it's drying. Alright, so there's the bird. Or, not the bird, the watercolor. My camera turned. There's the watercolor. Of course, it's still wet. And there they are. Alright, so I'll come back and give my final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts on this no name brand. There's no name brand on here at all. Cheap kids art set. Okay, so just to review, we had oil pastels, crayons, markers, colored pencils, watercolor, a sketch pencil, eraser, and pencil sharpener. Okay, so we'll start with the eraser. The eraser was actually pretty good. I liked it. The pencil sharpener worked, but it felt really cheap and it felt like it could fall apart at any second, and I didn't feel safe for kids, and I'm thinking that's glue, I don't know. And the pencil wasn't bad. It sharpened really easy and to a point. It wasn't bad. So the crayons was the first thing that I tried out. They were absolutely horrible. They were dry and scratchy, and they did not blend well, which with some crayons you can get them to blend, like with Crayola and Crazy Art, but they were horrible. And the next thing I tried out were the oil pastels. They were worse than the crayons. They were dry, crumbly. You could not layer them at all, and you got all these little chunks. So it was horrible, horrible, horrible. And then the next thing I tried was, what was the next thing I tried? Oh, the colored pencils. They were better. They were better. I could blend them. They went down smooth. The leads did not break. Of course, I created my own species of bird here, and they would not blend with a colored pencil blender. They just wouldn't. So that was a downfall on that. Everything, there's no color names or numbers or anything, which was to be expected, really. And then the next thing I tried out was the markers. Oh my god, the markers. Horrible. Tiny nibs. Scratchy. They did not blend. Of course, they're water-based. So that was part of the problem. I did use marker paper. I didn't like them at all. But they were better when doing just like cartoon art. And not trying to draw realism. So if you're just trying to do cartoon art and basic pictures and not try to draw anything realistic, they'll be kind of okay. The next thing I tried were the watercolors. I threw away this brush, which came with this horrific plastic bristle brush, and it's getting thrown away. So actually the watercolor was my favorite. out of this whole set. See, I did this with it. They blended well. They were opaque, and they, when you added more water, you know, they lightened up, however watercolor is supposed to do. So that was my favorite. First was the watercolor, which were very chalky and a lot of filler in them. So, but out of this set, that was the best, and the color pencil was the best. So I want to thank you for joining me here on the 7th House Art Studio. And if you made it this far, in the comments, let me know what was your favorite product that I used tonight, today, yesterday, week ago. This video is taking me a while to make. Again, thank you and have a great day. Consider subscribing, hitting that like button. Thank you. I do have one final thought. Don't get these for your kids. These are absolutely horrible. I don't know if more expensive brand would be better quality. I don't know. But this really cheap brand, just don't do it to your kids. That's horrible. You'd be better off getting for the watercolor, maybe a Royal Langnickel set. Comes with a lot more colors in it too, and it's better. But I'm not too upset about the watercolor. And as far as the color pencils, markers, and crayons go, you'd be better off getting Crayola, Crazy Art and when you add up all of those things individually, you're probably at the same price anyway. So don't do this to your kids. It's awful. Unless you find a set that's like $200, it has much better products in it. I don't know. Do you have one of these? Have you tried one of these? Do you have a better set? All right. Thank you again.